it's Mark the Guitar Guy, back again with another theory explanation for you. We'll call it an explanation because it's my version of it. So what we've covered so far, we've covered the major scale, it happens to be in the key of A, the full scale shape, and we've numbered the scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up into 8. We learned about octaves, and we learned about tonics maybe, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 notes of the scale. So, Mark, how do we apply this to making chords, and how does it relate to the A major chord? Let's figure that out today. So you might have heard some people talking about the major tonic of a la, that sort of stuff, and they mention a 1, 3, 5. So, a 1, 3, 5, what does that mean? Well, let's have a look at the A major scale, and we're going to number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We've done that. We're going to find out where the 1, 3, and 5 are, and we're going to find out what those notes are. So the very first note is a 1. Guess what? It's an A. How about that? If you're already with me, you're probably in the top 80% of the entire world already. It's a top 80%. That's impressive. The next thing we need to find out is the 3. So 1, 2, 3. There's the 3. So it's our third. It's actually the 9th fret note, which is a C sharp. Okay, so you might not know that already, but if you've learnt your names and notes on the strings, that's the thing to figure out. So what we've got so far is we've got an A and we've got a C sharp. Sometimes it's cool to write that stuff down so you can go through and come back and double check it. So we've got an A, a C sharp, we need to find the 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's our 5. Okay, so what is that note? It's on the 5th string, it's on the 7th fret, and it is an E. It's an E note. I know that because I know my stuff. You might not know that straight away. That's okay. Take a while to figure that out. That's all right. We've just got our 3 notes, our 1, 3, and 5. A, C sharp, E. Okay. Now let's look at an A chord and have a look at and find out what those notes are. Just even with a basic A chord. Okay, so first our A chord, the top string we don't play normally. The next string we do. What's the name of that note? Guess what? It's an A. The next note, well, that's an E. So that's part of our chord as well. A, C sharp, E. Doesn't necessarily need to be in the order of A, C sharp, E, A, C sharp, E, A, C sharp, E. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's A, E, E, C sharp, C, C sharp, A, whatever. It's a different combination. So the first note's an A. The next note we've got there with our first finger on there is an E. The next note is another A. The next note is C sharp, I do believe. Yes, it is a C sharp. And the last note is an E. So all those notes, it's only 3 notes within that whole chord. And that can be a little bit confusing, or it was when I first saw that. I'm like, hang on, there's 6 strings, I'm playing 5 of them, but there's only 3 notes. But it's 3 notes continually repeating throughout that chord, which gives it the chord of A major. That blew me away when I first figured that out. I'm like, wow, there's only 3 notes in that whole chord. And then I tested it out in a few other places. So let's try it in a different space. So here's another A. Once again, we'll go through the notes. So we're looking for A, C sharps, and E's. And sure enough, the first note's an A. The next note is an E. The next note is an A. The next note is a C sharp, because there's a C sharp. The next note is a E. Yes, and the next note is an A. Once again, we've got A's, E's, and C sharps all the way through that shape. And we can keep on testing that and it'll come out right every time. So that's how we get a major chord, and that's how we determine the notes in a major chord. So let's try it for one more key. Let's try it for, and this is just major now. We haven't done minor, we're just doing major. Let's do a G major chord. There's my G major bar chord, or you can do a G chord there. Now let's go through that scale shape on the top string, starting from the top string, from the G note. There's our G. So we're going to find out, there's our scale shape, there's our 8 notes. Okay, so what's the 1? It's a G. What's the 3? 1, 2, 3. The 3 is an B. And the next note, the 5 is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a D. So now we're going to have to look and see if all the G major chord is full of G's, B's, and D's. G's, B's, and D's. Let's have a look and see if they exist in this chord. Here's my G chord. Let's have a look. First note, on the top string, that's a G. So far, so good. Second note is a B. So far, so good. That's part of our chord. Next note's a D. Already we've covered the first 3 notes of our chord, of our scale shape. or our 1, 3, 5. The next note we've got in this chord is an open G. It's a G chord, G note. The next note we have is a D. The next note is a G. There we have our G chord. It works. The theory works. Let's try it with one more of the same shape. Here's the other bar chord of a G. Let's go through our notes. I'm just going to rush through this a bit quicker, just because I think you're getting the gist of this. So let's go. We've got a G, we've got a D, a G, we've got a B, and we've got a D, and we've got a G at the bottom of it. It's working every time. So this is how we get our chords. And so if you've ever heard of people saying things like, and we'll cover this later, a G major 7th. Well, a G major 7th is simply a G major chord that also has the 7th in it. So if we counted our notes through, 1, 2, like say we'll do it in the key of G because I said a G major 7th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's our 7 note. So if you went through the chord and you put your 1, your 3, your 5 in there and your 7, and then you'd work out all the notes of a G major 7th. And then you'll be able to apply that to the guitar and either figure out a chord you're already doing and go, what chord is that? What notes are in there? And you'd be able to relate that back to what the chord is. So a G major 7th is simply, instead of a 3-note chord, it's a 4-note chord, meaning there's the 1, 3, 5, and the 7th. Or however you're looking at it. So that makes those chords up. We're getting a wee bit advanced there, but it's just to let you know how cool this is in explaining things like minor ninths and 11ths and augmented whatever else is. All these chord names just come out of basically the theory I've shown you, just an addition of that, just a variation of that. So the stuff we were just going into there, it's starting to delve into more complex things, but if you look at that and just keep going over those 3 lessons, it'll be opening up a lot of stuff to you, maybe making you ask a few more questions. However, the stuff I was talking about, G major 7th and things like that, that can sound quite advanced, but really it's pretty simple stuff. And what I'm going to do with you is to make this as simple as possible, because I'm a dummy. I'm a total dummy with this stuff. However, I can show you my dummy version of how I do this, and maybe that could help you, maybe not, maybe you're way more advanced than that. However, if you do like the style of teaching, if you do like the way that I teach you and help you, then please go and visit Jamorama.com. You get access to my stuff, like my intense courses, my really sort of intricate sort of things that I do when it comes to doing practice theory or practicing practical things, how to get really fast on the guitar, how to play solos, how to play blues, that sort of stuff. And if you love that stuff, go and check it out. Otherwise, it'd be great seeing you again for another video very shortly. It's good seeing you again. Mark the Guitar Guy signing off. See ya.